Welcome to rSlash Relationships, where OP gets a heaping dose of hoobie-doobie. Our next Reddit post is from Random Dar. I'm a 30-year-old woman, and my 60-year-old mom wants me to donate my egg. How to save our relationship? My mom has been with her husband for about 15 years. She's almost 20 years older than he is. She has 3 kids and a lot of health issues, including a heart thing last year and something similar to a stroke. Her husband has no kids, but really wants some. Recently, my mom has shared that she's actively losing weight to have another pregnancy. She's already tried IVF with her own frozen eggs and it didn't work out. Thank God. Now she's asking for me to donate the egg. I'm terrified. I really don't want her to get pregnant because, 1, I am not comfortable with the idea of my biological kid not being with me. 2, it will most likely kill her. 3, I don't know what I should do with my child/sibling once she's dead in like 10 to 15 years. 4, her husband is very toxic. I don't want any kid to be around him, especially my biological kid. It's an especially painful topic for me because I had my first pregnancy last year and due to complications had to TFMR, what is that? Termination of pregnancy for medical reasons. My mom is now actively trying to persuade me to postpone another pregnancy for health reasons while pushing me to donate an egg. I know that I won't. Question is, how do I communicate it? Also, I'm kind of mad at her for asking me this. What do I do? Then OP posted an update where she writes her mother an email explaining everything, like all the reasons why she doesn't want to give the egg. And at the end, the mom replied and she apologized. She said that I was right and that she didn't want to offend me. The only thing she claimed I was wrong about is she will stay very active in her 80s and that it's more of a psychological barrier that people have. Sure, Mom, not physical at all. I answered, sure, I hope you stay active until your 100s, and that was it. I'm still shocked that it went so smoothly. I know it doesn't sound very exciting for you, but in my mind, this is giant. My mom never apologizes. I guess she actually didn't want the baby as well? I don't know. So being pregnant is already pretty dangerous, fairly dangerous for a woman in general. I would have to imagine that being pregnant at the age of 60 is incredibly dangerous for both you and the baby. So try to imagine just that feeling of your child is in your mother and then your mother dies from some complication. And then you lose both your mom and both your sibling/child at the same time. This is so trippy. Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway94. My husband and I have been married for almost 2 years, and nothing like this has ever happened in our relationship before. We've always been very open with each other, as we both like to hash out problems before they escalate. One of the things that drew me to him was his brutal honesty. We also have, or had, a pretty regular and healthy love life, never having problems with infidelity or anything of a similar vein. In short, our relationship is more or less perfect. Until the other night. My husband and I were going at it when he said something pretty strange. Everything was normal until I heard him moan, "Hoobie-doobie." At first, I thought that I'd misheard him, but no. He completely froze and looked mortified. I was just confused. Mood ruined. I asked him about it, but all he did was take his pillow and leave. I knew he was going to sleep on the couch, which isn't something he's had to do since we first moved in together. I'm not going to get into that. We spent the night apart, and in the morning, we went about our routines as normal. When he got home from work, I tried to bring it up, but he pretended not to hear me and kept watching TV. It's been a couple of days, and I haven't brought it up since. However, there's been an air of awkwardness between us, and I don't think we can truly move past this without discussing it. I was hoping he'd be the one to bring it up first, but that hasn't been the case. I don't know what hoobie-doobie means. I have theories about maybe it being an anime character, as he enjoys watching that kind of stuff. But to me, it doesn't sound like someone's name. If anyone knows what or who hoobie-doobie is, or has any idea how to approach this with him, please let me know. Thank you. Then OP posted an update. Thank God! First of all, I'd like to say thank you for all the helpful and funny comments. They showed me the humor in the situation. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. What is Hooby Dooby? Last night after dinner, I sat down with my husband and brought it up. I reassured him that it was nothing to be embarrassed about and that I was just curious. He was reluctant to share at first, but it didn't take long for him to open up. For context, my husband is in a bowling league and he goes bowling with his friends every other week. While he does this, I stay at home and have some of my girlfriends over, so I don't know much about what goes on. As it turns out, he's been thinking of bowling to stop himself from arriving early. And Hooby Dooby is his bowling catchphrase, which is something that I did know existed. At first I was surprised, but then it turned out to be hilarious and we both laughed about it. Safe to say, I've never loved this man more. And it wasn't Hooby Dooby that compelled me to make this post, it was his reaction. I would never let the words Hooby Dooby ruin our wonderful marriage. Again, I can't thank you enough for all the kind words. Hooby Dooby to all, and to all a good night. The comments. Tim True says, you should just say, it's Morbin time, and continue sensual lovemaking. Pretty Cool Bear says, filling out divorce paperwork, reason for separation, Hooby Dooby. Sweet Razmataz says, effing hilarious. I once finished inside of my wife and said, zoom, zoom, in her ear, lol. She almost died. If you can't laugh during the deed, you're not doing it right. I love these comments. Cabinet Legitimate says, my partner is absolutely amazing at dirty talk during the deed, and I'm pretty horrible at it. Here's some weird things that I've said during the act. Oh, geez! Right before I finished. Whoops-a-daisy when it slipped out. Holy guacamole! I meant to say holy shit because it was awesome. We cracked up every time, and then we just kept at it. Intercourse is weird. People say weird things. It happens. OP, next time you're doing it, I think you should try this one out. I want you to Hooby in my doobie! Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway R2. So I'm a 24-year-old woman and my boyfriend is 27. We've been together just over a year now. He's never been the pranking type, and we've explicitly discussed that I do not enjoy pranks or surprises. Occasionally, he'll do a little jump out from around a corner to spook me, and I usually playfully slap his arm and he laughs, and that's that. This completely came out of left field. Yesterday, he told me that he had something serious to discuss with me, so we sat down. He genuinely looked like he was on the verge of tears. This man rarely cries, so already I was holding and kissing his hand, telling him it was okay. He shakily let out that he cheated on me with his best friend's girlfriend and that she's pregnant. My heart stopped. Like I genuinely had a panic attack, tearing up and trying not to puke. He just sat there watching me, looking all emotional and apologizing over and over. I've been cheated on before, which he was very aware of because we've had extensive conversations about some of my trust issues that we had been working through together. This played on all of my worst fears. Once I could speak, I told him to leave, and he did. Once I calmed down a bit, I called his best friend and asked if he knew about the affair and the baby. I figured he did. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't still in the dark because he deserved to know. He replied with, "Oh, F. He didn't actually do this to you, did he? I told him not to, that this was a bad idea." I thought he was talking about the fact that my boyfriend knocked up his girlfriend and said, "You knew in advance that they were having intercourse and told him not to do that because it would hurt me?" Then the friend broke the news that the whole thing was a prank. There was no affair and there was no baby. I felt numb at this point. I just laid there and contemplated our relationship. I couldn't believe that he would think to hurt me as an attempt at a joke. I still can't. I didn't contact him at all, and he didn't contact me. I was waiting for him to show up and tell me that it was a prank, but he never did until about 6 p.m. He called me and told me to visit my backyard. He had set up a table and made it pretty, which really isn't his forte. Had takeout Italian food waiting for me and a sign that said April Fools in the back. For a second, I was relieved that he did something so sweet and found myself clinging to it. But I still felt hurt. He grinned and walked up to me, kissing me and saying he couldn't believe I fell for it and that he thought that I would know that it was a prank. I cut to the chase and broke up with him. The whole day was just emotional whiplash, and I felt toyed with. I said that I didn't know if I could be in a relationship with someone who could lie to my face like that and think that it was funny. He said it was funny and that he was sorry if I didn't get it. I've been so overwhelmed and emotional over this, and I just want to know if I'm overreacting or not. He's never done something like this before, but I don't know if I can recover. So now, he's left a total of 37 voicemails and probably hundreds of messages, and the number is only increasing. I need him to stop. He won't listen to me when I say I need space from him. I really don't want to block him or make this messier than it needs to be because we share a friend group. I don't want to be the reason people pick sides and things fall apart. The prank is bad enough on its own, but then leaving you to just be miserable and cry on your own for hours and hours is just cruelty. It's being mean for the sake of being mean. How is that funny to anyone? I'm a 17-year-old woman and my boyfriend is 19. We were mugged. He ran away and left me alone with the mugger. I can't see him in the same light anymore. Yesterday, I was hanging out with my boyfriend and we were in a not so great part of our city. Suddenly, a guy approached us to ask for directions and asked us to help him get there, and we helped him, which is stupid, I know. After getting there, he pulled out a knife and asked for all our money. My boyfriend ran away and left me alone with the mugger. Luckily, he just wanted my money, so I gave him all the money I had and then he went away. After that, I went inside a bar and called my parents. My parents were furious with my boyfriend and tried to call him, but he didn't pick up. We then went to the police and then returned home, and after maybe 2 hours, I received a call from my boyfriend asking me where I was and telling me he alerted the police. I exploded on him, and he didn't even apologize, but kept telling me that he did the best that he could. My question is there any way to recover from this? My image of him is shattered. It's actually crazy that he didn't even bother to check on you for 2 full hours. You could have been bleeding out in an alley. Kidnapped, who knows what else? And the guy's like, nah, I'll get around to checking on her eventually. Really, there's just no way possible, conceivable of coming back from this. Even if he was just a friend or an acquaintance, I would still expect them to at least call and check after 2 hours, let alone a boyfriend. But hey, look on the bright side, OP. There is a silver lining to this. A lot of the times when you start dating someone new, there can be some jealousy or insecurity about your exes. So if your next boyfriend is like, how do I compare to your ex? You can say, oh, don't worry, the guy left me for dead for 2 hours, so you're definitely an upgrade. That was rSlash Relationships, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.